All right, so now we are in line 7, but before that, let's look at 6c that says we have done wickedly. And that wickedness is all forms of evil. All forms of evil. And he's talking about how we're supposed to do right at all times. You can't do right and do evil at the same time. That's craziness. And so it says we have sinned with our fathers, we have committed iniquity, we have done wickedly. Now he moves into 7 and says, our fathers in Egypt did not understand your wonders. Apparently they didn't understand the wonders of God. For them to continue to murmur and complain. Can you imagine? They were in bondage because the Pharaoh of that time had forgot about Joseph and what the other Pharaoh had done and had favor with Joseph in his people. And so a new Pharaoh rose up who didn't understand and enslaved them. And because they cried out to God, God delivered them by the hands of Moses and Aaron. And so as God was leading them from that bondage, they did what? Our fathers in Egypt did not understand your wonders. They did not remember the multitude of your mercies, but rebelled by the sea, the Red Sea. You know, like they said, okay, they see the Pharaoh is still sending his troops and chariots or whatever after them, and they have the troops on this side and they have the Red Sea on this side. And you mean to tell me, and they complained and saying that why you brought us here to die out here? And we could have just stayed there. They kept saying that, bringing all kind of stuff back up and putting it in God's face. And so that's when Moses had to say what? Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Egyptians you see today, you will see no more. And it's the same thing when we face in situations and circumstances and it seems like our back's up against the Red Sea and the enemies is pursuing us on the other side. What are we going to do? Are we going to rebel against God? Are we going to rebel against God? Are we going to murmur and complain? And say, well, God, you should have left us where we were? Instead of saying, well, God, you didn't bring us this far to leave us now? And I know you'll bring me through that Red Sea if I have to swim it. If I have to walk on water, you're going to deliver me? God is God. God is God. He is God. He can do anything. He can do anything. And yet, we murmur and complain and rebel because he didn't give us what we wanted when we wanted it. And when we take on that attitude, then yes, we have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity with them as well. And we have done wickedly. Our fathers in Egypt did not understand your wonders. They did not remember the multitude of your mercies, but rebelled by the sea, the Red Sea. And that's how people sin. 8. Nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make his mighty power known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it dried up. So he led them through the depths as through the wilderness. He saved them from the hand of him who hated them, and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. The waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left. Then they believed his words. They sang his praise. Okay, let's elaborate on this stanza. So it says, nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake. He didn't save them for them. He saved them for him. For his name's sake, for his glory. So that the Egyptians wouldn't say, oh, well, your God is weak. He brought y'all out here and, you know, to die by our hands, and he can't even get you across that sea. No, God's not going to make himself look bad. And that's for real. He's God, and he's a God all by himself. And he doesn't need us. You know, we need him. We need him. He uses us, but he doesn't need us. He wants us for himself and to worship and pray. That's why he created us, for worship to him. He doesn't need us. He wants us. That's beautiful right there. And I want you, Father God, and I need you. And so it says, nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make his power known. All right. And so let's go ahead and pause here, and I'll pick up that reference scripture in 8b.